What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect Podcast Show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys listening to episode 593. Before I get into the episode, I want to thank everybody for going to the YouTube channel, subscribing. Please do that. Also, everybody that bought tickets to the show we announced, New Year's Eve, Gramercy Theater, New York City. Get in there. I cannot wait to do that show. I will also be this weekend, October 6th and 7th, for 4 shows. I'll be at the American Comedy Company in San Diego, California. We moved Hartford to October 13th. October 20 and 21, Philadelphia Helium. And November 2nd, Albany. And like I said, we have the New Year's Eve with more dates coming soon. And everybody, it looks like the special will be in Chicago in February. I'll make that official announcement next week. And speaking of a special in Chicago, my guest today, by the way, that was not planned to go in like that. It just happened to work out. That
professional segue. Look at you.
Hey, you know what?
600 episodes. You fucking nailed one, Verse.
There you go. It only took 600. My guest today is another dear friend of mine. So hilarious. Fresh off of his killer special, which is on the All Things Comedy YouTube channel right now, doing great. Joe Bartnick, A Killing in Chicago. Make sure you check that special out. Joe B, thank you for being back on the show, buddy.
Verse.
Yeah.
No one loves you. Your wife doesn't love you as much as I do. You're the best.
Unfortunately, that's sad, but true. Yeah, I should just tell Stacey, watch Bartnick interact with me, and maybe things will be better.
I know. Well, my wife was just like, you needed Virzi, but you came to town. She's like, you needed Virzi. Because it was so weird. I was in New York without Virzi.
I know.
It's still the greatest city in the world, but it's just not quite the same. You know.
Yeah, it was funny. You were in New York.
It's like going to see the Sixers, and the doctor is on the injured list.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I
a 50-year-old reference. That's my NBA reference. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, I would have went with Iverson.
Yeah, it's still like 20 years ago. Well, who cares? That shitty center's always on the injured reserve, whatever that guy. Remember that kid, that drunk, like, he's going to be the next Tim Duncan. I'm like, Tim Duncan's won like 6 championships. This guy hasn't even won 10 games in October yet.
No, it's true. I go to L.A. and you go to New York, but we met up, and Joe, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it because, look, I was in town with Sunday off. And I'm in town with Sunday off. It's NFL, and I find out that the Los Angeles Chargers, the now Los Angeles Chargers, are at SoFi. Should I go? Should I not go? I'm talking to some people, and then I'm talking to Joe, and I'm like, you know what? When I realized tickets and getting tickets, I'm going, you know what? Maybe I'll just go to, I told you, I go, you know, instead of going, maybe we'll just go to like a Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll get some cold beers, and we'll watch every game.
Or come to my house. My wife will make chicken parm. You can see the dogs.
Or go
time.
Or go to Pasadena, sit at Bartnick's, enjoy myself. And then I get a text that says, hey, the agency, shout out to William Morris, they got tickets if you want, and they'll text them to you. And I'm going, all right. And I figure it's agency tickets, the tickets will be good. Long story short, Bartnick is like, and I know you were hesitant to go. I would be too. And it's Chargers Raiders. You know it's going to be, fans are going to be nuts. Dude, we get tickets to this thing. Shout out to our friend Willis Whalen at the NFL Players Association. We go to this lounge at the beginning where you it's just like a private thing that you overlook. It's got like its own little bar.
LT was there. The other LT.
The offensive LT.
Yeah, not the LT.
No, let's not be.
And
I don't even like calling him LT.
I know. Let's face it. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have been nicknamed LT.
I don't know if it was him, but I don't. Yeah,
he should have put a stop to it.
Yeah. He could have been like, there's only one LT.
It's like some people call me Broadway Joe or something. It's like, no, that's Joe Namath. I'm not Broadway Joe.
Yeah, so
it's, you know.
Yeah. It's like, hey, let's not. There's one LT in the NFL. Let's leave it at that.
Forever. The greatest.
But it was cool seeing him in there.
Oh, he gave the total head nod to me too. I go, LT, and he gave me the nod. Like he was cool. He was great.
No, great. Like I said,
Lawrence Taylor.
The 5 years of LaDainian Tomlinson's prime I'm talking like the teams that, I mean, obviously they go to the playoffs and they shit the bed. But dude, LaDainian Tomlinson was a baller, dude. He was a running back that was unbelievable.
When you still could run the ball 400 times a year and
Yeah.
It was men still played back then. It wasn't, oh, don't hit him too hard.
He got a big workload.
Yeah.
And they would give him the rock 30 times. But like that one year he had like 30 touchdowns was like, so he's in the lounge. We get beers. We're hanging out. And we're almost like, should we stay here? Because it's kind of easy. But then we're like, we got to see the seats. Dude, we go to the seats. They couldn't be better. The most comfortable football seat I've ever sat in.
It was like my lazy boy at home. Total space for my feet.
Listen, Joe Bartnick, and this is no offense because I love you, doesn't have the greatest eyes. And he was catching more tackles than I was. He's going, Virzi, did you just see that guy get clobbered?
I did need my glasses. What have I been in my house? I told my wife hates I pull my lazy boy in front of the TV. We're a week away from hockey season. I'm like, I'm a week away from moving my lazy boy up 5 more feet. So and I have a big television. I can't see anything.
Joe was catching like out of bounds hits that I didn't even see. And he's going, dude, did you see that? The seats were great. The game ended up being, at first it looked like the Chargers were going to run away with it. Raiders end up coming back with a backup quarterback. It turns into a 7-point game, whatever. We get out of there easily.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where I'm like, I may never go to another NFL game again just because I don't think it's ever going to be like that.
I was always like, I just don't like crowds unless they're paying to see us perform.
Sure.
Or we have like total hookup, like VIP. I have to get involved.
Right.
That was as easy as an experience it was easier than going to Barney's Beanery. Less assholes. It was incredible.
I'll be honest with you. We would have had more of a headache at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we were like...
shittier service.
Put it this way. Yeah. I told Joe, I go, if this was a doubleheader, I would be... my ass and back felt great.
Incredible. Perfect weather.
And dude, SoFi is... I mean, that place is
when I left that place, the first time I called my dad, you got to come see it's like the 8th wonder of the world.
It is really one of the most, like, it's almost too much. You look at it, you're like, this is nuts.
It's like clean.
It was clean.
It's like clean. It's kind of weird. It's so clean.
It was good, yeah. And I actually...
you could take a dump there if you had to.
Well, yeah, but not in 5 years.
No, I know, but I mean, every other stadium, it's like, I'm going to wait till I get home. Like, I'm going to ruin my day, but I'm going to wait till I get home.
Every other stadium, you're like, I'll get gas pains. I'll be miserable.
Yeah.
Like, I might shit my pants. I'm not going in.
I'm not going in here. Just for your own personal safety.
I'm not shitting at MetLife Stadium in Jersey.
No.
I'll find a porta potty in the parking lot before I did that.
No, me.
No, that was such a
It's just super clean. It's so nice. People are friendly there. It's just a completely incredible experience.
It was a great NFL experience. Now let's talk about you and the special that you got. Congratulations.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations to you on Chicago. You didn't get the Den as well, or
probably the Den.
Oh, dude, the Den. I mean, I set my fans set the bar high. We broke the liquor record that night.
I'm sure.
Not me, the fans. I mean, I helped.
But you're.
You were there. You
were probably the two bottles. You were probably the 2 bottles of Crown that got it over the edge. It went over the line
by your nose.
Yeah. But no, I was there the night you shot it. You killed both sets. I knew you had it on the first one, and now it looks great on YouTube. All the jokes, all the clips you're putting out are so great. It's such a culmination of how hard you worked. I mean, we toured together years and years ago. So, dude, it's really great, and it's going to do great for you. You guys got to check it out. Joe Bartnick, A Killing in Chicago. Isn't it great, too, when you know, like I always tell, like when you know you got the first one. Like I knew with Nocturnal, you got the first one.
Yes.
So now the next one, you go and you just go and you play with it, you know?
It was so, I was so happy that the first one went well. It was like when I did my CD. Like, the first one was good. You don't have to worry about it. So the second one, you said the best thing. We were downstairs, and you go, now send these jokes home the way they should be.
Yes, send them off.
Send them off. And we had the best time. It was the best.
Yes. That's the thing with the special, and I'm very big on not doing it again. As a matter of fact, I'm going to San Diego this week, and it was the first place I was after the Netflix thing came out, and I didn't want to do a minute of it.
And I remember, because I was with you, and you went and you wrote some more jokes to fill the hour, and you inspired me because now I'm out. The special's out. And I remember I was just so nervous. Like, am I going to get through? I did 50 completely new.
Yes.
Completely new.
So now you have a whole new hour other than your special.
Other than the special.
That's it.
I'm not saying when times got to turn tough, I was like, hey, here's a haymaker.
Right.
People are paying money and getting a babysitter. I'm going to be like, hey, it's not, Bartnick's amateur hour.
You see somebody start getting up leaving, you just start throwing haymakers.
No.
I'll get back down.
Yeah. No, we know what I mean. It's like, you just want to give a great show. But I'm happy with my new stuff too. It's kind of funny. Now you look back at some of it's like, oh, you're just happy to be doing nothing worse than having nothing new. Nothing is worse than that.
No,
when you feel like you can't write anything funny for a week, it's like, oh my God, I go nuts.
Oh, a week. Jeez. I always go through a little bit of writer's drought, like when after something comes out, because you want something worthy of, but nothing is also better than when you go into a show knowing that you got a new banger.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean a week. I just mean like even you have nothing, even a mediocre in a 1 week. You even thought of one thing new to say, like, oh my God, this is terrible.
No, I meant mine was months.
I just throw. Well, I didn't know we do the nightcap new material night. I just throw mediocrity around until something hits. But now the new hour, I really like it. I think what's harder is finding new. A lot of stuff is almost like goes with other older jokes, and you just have to throw those away. That's the problem.
Yeah. So what else now? So now you're on the road? You're traveling?
Yeah, going to Florida for a couple weeks. I got a big show, Pittsburgh, Low Lev, new brewery in town. Bang that out.
Where are you going to Florida?
A bunch of different places.
All right, so let's talk about this, because one thing we're doing on the Virzi Effect now, and people seem to like it, is we're not talking comedy. We're talking like...
Good. I felt like we're getting into the weeds a little too much. Go ahead.
No. We're talking about your special, so that's why that led into it. But what I want to talk about is like you're going to Florida. We were talking about all different places. Today I was talking to my agent, and we were talking about all different markets of comedy and how they changed, and Florida came up. I think Florida is in the tops in the country of markets. What do you think?
Tampa, Florida.
Oh my God, Side Splitters.
Side Splitters is one of the greatest comedy clubs in the country. Not only is the owner Brian cool, staff, it's old school comedy club.
It is.
People are there to laugh, have a good time. Nobody's overly woke.
No.
Nobody, and there's no one's overly wasted. It's just a good time. Tampa's full of good people. They have old school radio king. Mike Calta's in town, so he helps promote it. The whole thing couldn't be any better. I think Tampa's a great comedy town. The further south you get, it's a little bit more like, hey, when's the dance party start? And it's too many beautiful people. But Florida's still fun. I'll be there because Miami's. Sometimes that's pretty tough because it's like, hey, the people are just too beautiful.
Well, the thing about Miami is they're like, comedy's second there. They're like, look, we're gonna have sushi, go to the beach, probably do some blow, and if we decide to go to a show, we decide to go to a show. They walk in late. I'm serious. Like, you're right about that. That's the thing about Florida is like all of that is secondary to how great they are.
Yes,
they've been on yachts all day. The last thing they want to do is see dick jokes in a hotel.
Yeah, they're all getting up and doing blow like 5 times. Everyone gets up 4 times to go to the bathroom. They come back. Oh, they got to talk for 3 minutes. They're all looking at their phone.
You're like, dude, has that bitch got a bladder infection?
But I have fun. Fort Lauderdale's some fun places around there. I just love how everyone in Florida is there basically to have a good time.
Yeah, remember
no one has an agenda.
Right. No, Florida's laid back and cool. I like Florida. I said one of my most underrated cities, and I told you this many times, is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's the best with the food and all that. But me and Joe went to this breakfast place. Do you remember we went to this breakfast place?
Oh, yeah.
And Joe said the funniest thing, because we go to this breakfast place, and it was just a divey type of like known breakfast spot. And this is no disrespect, but I said to the people there were rather big that were eating there. And then I said to Joe, like the next time, I go, Joe, I want to go, let's go to like a nice place. And Joe just goes, hey, Verz, just so you know, every place that you go to a nice breakfast, you're going to see fat people. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. You're going to breakfast at 10:30 in the morning. Like, there's not going to be that many skinny people there. Yeah.
I was like, remember that one guy smelled fat? I never seen a guy so fat he smelled fat.
Well, when my wife was pregnant, I almost had a heart attack because she didn't want to finish her permani sandwich because she saw a guy sitting on a stool, on 2 stools with one ass cheek on each side. on each stool, eating a Permane sandwich in one hand and smoking a cigarette in the other. That's how long ago it was. She was like, I can't finish my food. I'm like, it's some Permanes. What are you doing?
I mean, listen,
of course, I finished it. I'll eat that food.
There's nothing more Pittsburgh than a guy with one ass cheek on one crate, on another crate, and smoking a cigarette with a Permane.
Yeah.
There should be a billboard of that. This is welcome to Pittsburgh. It's such a great. Your Steelers looking decent.
What do you mean? They're 1-3. I mean, some of the worst games ever.
Wait a minute, they're 1-3? I thought they.
I'm saying they're 2-2.
Oh, okay, all right.
They're 2-2.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
But your quarterback got hurt. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to badmouth Kenny, but I'm not quite sure he's the golden child. I never was. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but their defense isn't playing good. The whole thing is a travesty. Yeah. Really?
Well, I mean, not like what I saw last night. Daniel Jones got sacked 11 times, and they were just in the backfield right when he snapped the ball. I'm going, oh, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, it's tough right now.
Nothing is an indicator like when your fat coach is sweating halfway through the first quarter, shaking his head. Like it's going to be a long Monday night game.
Oh.
Back of his neck was sweating. He's shaking his head. He's yelling at coaches. I'm going, we're not even in the second quarter. It's a wrap. I can't believe it.
Did he have the under the boob sweat for a man? That's never a good look.
He looks like he's eating more. He looks stressed out. But he does look, we were talking about this. He does look like an old school coach because all these coaches now, if you see these coaches, they're all like skinny, nerdy, like I remember the days of like Buddy Ryan, Bill Parcells.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like the best looking, thinnest guy back then was Joe Gibbs, and it wasn't great.
No, yeah, he just looked remotely healthy.
He looked remotely healthy, but like, Marv Levy, but he was a skinny old man. Like now you got these young kids.
They were all old. Now everyone's like 35.
Guys like 35, skinny. They got abs. Like
they do the bike where they with a TV screen.
Yeah, listen, I don't need my coach to run sprints up and down the stadium the way, the Jets. Like, Bill Parcells wasn't running up a flight of stairs.
No, he wasn't running for anything.
Yeah.
He made some intern run for him.
Yeah, that'd be great. You saw Parcells. He could run up 2 stairs, have a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. Well, he did. He had some heart problems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, they all did back then. I mean, they weren't healthy. They all smoked in the press box. It's like,
Speaking of that, you look great. You lost since the last time you were on the Virzi Effect, you lost 75 pounds?
I don't know my last date on the Virzi Effect, but my height, I was over 295. I quit counting. And then at my lowest, I was like 211, 212.
I love you quit counting. You're like, listen, I can't watch it get to 3.
Can't watch it. My sister said, you're walking like a fat person. I was swaying like a boat in the ocean.
Dude, yeah, when you hear that from family, because it comes from love.
Oh, yeah. Well, my sister, it's a little bit of everything.
A little love, a little hate.
Yeah, just a little.
I had a family member. I don't want to mention the name, but one of my family members was like breathing real bad and not looking. And I just had to tell. You just have to tell them.
Yeah.
When you see a family member like sweating while they're eating dinner or they're sitting down, you got to go, hey, man, I love you. Something's got to be. I don't want to see anything happen to you.
Well, that's the thing. At least I didn't smoke cigarettes because I think you get 2 or 3. Yeah,
explain that. I like that. I like that.
If you want to drink, I love to drink, and you want to eat, then you got to work out, and you can't smoke. You can't be fat, drink, and smoke.
So you're giving the 2 out of 3 you can do.
Yeah, you want to drink and smoke, then don't be fat.
Yeah,
you can't be fat and smoke. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. It's like penalties offsetting.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you could, but
this is no minors. We'll skate 4 aside.
But if you like to eat, it's like you said. If you like to eat, you like to drink, go to the gym.
That's what I try to do. Now between everything wrong with me, I just walk my dog for an hour every day.
Yeah, but you were in rough shape, dude. We were at the Masters. I don't know if you remember too with your back. I'm glad you got the surgery because Joe was at the Masters and like you sucked that up because your dad was there.
Oh my God, I was getting massaged on like this 15th fairway. He
laid down on the side of literally on the side of the 13th we stayed. He couldn't stand anymore because he was in such pain. Now, mind you, this is a guy that like passed a kidney stone at a tailgate, okay? This guy is a tough guy. And we felt so bad because we're walking around the Masters. It was a beautiful day, especially that second day. And Joe was just like, I can't, and laid on his stomach, stretching. And then he walked over to this little bridge and he put his head down and 2 strange women just go, "Are you okay?" And one woman started massaging him and I was like, and he's like, "Oh, dude, my dad's here. I got to do it for my dad." But like, yeah, you were limping around like Tiger was out there.
Oh my God, Tiger was walking faster than me. I should have just stayed back at the hospitality house, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to look like I was, but man, that would have been fun.
The hospitality tent was
insanity.
The hangs before games are just.
I know. It makes almost every sporting event like, do I really want to go in? I'm having more fun before the game, I love tailgating. The games, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. But tailgating is always fun. That's why I love concerts. Someone's like, "Wait, like would you spend like $1,000 to see a game?" I don't know. To see the Rolling Stones? Yeah, like Mick Jagger never loses.
Right.
Yeah. Keith Richards always covers the spread.
Right.
You never leave like, "Oh man, Richards blew it. What a shitty call. I can't believe he played Satisfaction. That's just terrible." Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, there are very few people that enjoy a good time more than you. I mean,
very few.
I love a good time. But the other night, Joe and I go to, we got to reckon, I was told not to talk about the bar. But Joe and I get told to go to a bar in West Hollywood that's a very kind of private.
Straight.
What?
Straight
bar.
Yeah. No, West Hollywood would be like if you say I'm going to the Castro. There's a bar. We're not allowed to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just so you know.
What is that, a gay bar? Is that what you mean?
It's a gay area.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, no, we're not. I don't mean we're keeping it secretive like that, Joe. Jesus.
No, it's funny. Like, we're not allowed to talk about it though.
Joe had a leather suit and a gag on.
Don't mention the gimp. We paid extra.
Yeah, guys, there's a mustache for a reason. No, we get told by a buddy, go to this place. It's kind of like the best kept secret type of bar. It's going to be low key. You can get a drink in there, but it's just awesome. It was great. It was like a loungy. It was great. And we're drinking. I start having a good time. Joe is so into people having a good time and hanging with friends that I said, "Man, I would love a hit of weed," I said. And Joe was like, "Oh, man, I'm so sorry." He goes, "I'm so sorry, Virz." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "I would have if I would have known, I'm so sorry." You apologized about that as if you did something wrong to me. And I was like, this guy just wants me to have a great time.
Yeah, you're Virz. And also, it's like, I almost always have someone. What's so funny is my wife said, there's like 3 pens in the car.
In your car?
Yeah. Because she was looking for a pen with my daughter a couple weeks ago. They kept pulling out weed pens. They couldn't find a pen that wrote.
Joe said that you said this shit the other day when people were smoking out by the game, and the car service guys that overcharge.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, I was like, "Yeah, how much to get back over to where we are?" And he goes, everyone else was like, it was like really on Uber was like $55, $60, and the guy goes $280. And we go, "Get the fuck out." Like the guy was like, he's like, "Oh, well, then wait. Then you'll be waiting." And then he started giving you a light. And then he tried talking about the price again. And you go, "Listen, I have nothing to say to you." You go, Joe goes, "After you give me the light, we're done here. There's nothing else you could say. Get out of here." But it was so true. Oh, it was so. You were just like, "I have nothing to say to you."
Oh, yeah, well, he was
just trying to rob us.
Yeah.
Out of like hundreds of dollars. And he goes, "Oh, then wait." And we were like, "We're just hanging out."
Yeah, we're smoking a joint.
Yeah.
That's why I'm waiting.
Yeah, like the wait is fine now.
Yeah.
Because you have a joint. But you just go, "Hey, buddy, I have nothing to say to you anymore. Get out of here." Because he went like ridiculously high. Like
it was like $380 I got. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, imagine an Uber $60, and a guy goes, "I'll take you right now for $280."
Yeah, do you have a space? Am I getting in like the machine the fly got into?
Yeah.
Like, am I just appearing?
You're going to teleport me there for fucking $380? No, that was a great night and a great day.
That was fun.
I'm still tired from it.
I know. We met that chick. She spray paints people as her business.
Oh my God!
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Every time I'm with you, something happens like that. We
always meet crazy chicks. Crazy broads talk to me.
It was so weird. We go down for breakfast before the game.
Couple nice Bloody Marys.
I went down. There's a couple Bloody Marys. I was like, let me get my eggs Benny, and I'm sitting there eating, and there's just this woman eating there talking out loud. She's ordering like a double. It's early, and she orders like a double tequila, this big breakfast, and then she just starts talking about how a dude left her alone in the room and took off on her, and they were supposed to hang out. So she's putting all the stuff on his room. So she's ordering tequila.
Yeah, I'm like, well, buy shots for everybody.
She's ordering drinks, and she's like, I don't know what happened. He just left me. He abandoned me. Now he's saying sorry. And then I kind of just tuned out and let Joe talk to her. I was like, and then I went left, and you talked to her a little longer. But
yeah, she was a little nuts. But, whatever. I was just trying to get some drinks out of her.
Yeah. I mean, you find a way to talk to people. People just talk to you, man.
Crazy people do.
Is that right? Like always?
Well, look at the guy at the bar. He started talking to me, remember? And I'm just like, yeah, I ain't got enough friends.
Oh, there was a guy. Yeah, there was
the Hammer.
The Hammer.
Not MC Hammer.
No.
Not Arm & Hammer, but a guy named Hammer.
This guy comes in and he's like talking loud. He's talking to himself. Then he looks over. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? It was just a nightmare. And he goes, oh, they call me Hammer. So Joe and I are looking. It starts out like normal conversation, and then the guy just comes in too hot. And Bartnick goes, yeah, dude, I got enough friends. And I know that sounds rude, but if you saw what was happening, like if you saw how hard the guy started to go and how much, he literally tried to basically sit with us while we're like talking like life at a bar.
I really do not like when I'm with a very good friend of mine.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be rude or sound like an asshole.
No.
And then people jump in and it's like, dude, I see Virzi now. I used to see Virzi every day. It's like, okay, you can come join. Yeah. When I see him twice a year, this is my time with Virzi. Yeah. I don't want to talk to you. Well, this one guy, Gary Cannon, loves this story. We're in New York after the comedy, where Jimmy Big Balls used to work.
Gotham.
And we're at the Irish bar next door. This guy goes, I just want to ask you about comedy. You guys about comedy? And I go, I'm with Gary. And the guy bought us 2 drinks, and I go, I'll give you 5 minutes.
Well, the thing with comedy.
Well, the other night after New York Comedy Club, we were hanging out, a fun set. We're all hanging out there with Ray, right? So I started talking to Dean, was there. And so it kind of broke off. This guy goes, I'll buy some shots. And they're like, oh, we're busy. And he goes, we'll let him buy you some shots. That's a great set. So then, like 10 minutes later, all of a sudden, the guy's still talking to Ray, and then he leaves, and Ray goes, the guy wanted to hang out with us all night. And I go, what happened? He goes, I told him he can't.
Yeah, who told him that, Ray?
Ray, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's when you're sitting with a buddy, and especially in that bar, we had like a meat and cheese plate. We had a couple of cocktails. We're talking. It's dark in there. For you to come in hot like that and just try to sit with us,
they'd be like, "Oh, is that super salad?" He's picking up your salami.
Get some prosciutto. Yeah, he wraps it up.
Dirty hands.
He looked like a. Yeah, I was just not into it, and you just.
I really am nice to everyone at the beginning, though. I always like. We're men of respect. You respect me, I respect you. He just came in a little hot. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah, he came in hot. You don't have a little bit of like awareness of like what's going on. He heard us. We were talking. We're sitting there talking. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
I'm giving Joe a piece of bread with the fucking provolone and salami, and the guy just walked in hot. Yeah. It's like, hey, buddy.
He did find another.
Luckily, he found the guy that was sitting alone smoking a cigar in there. They hooked up and they started talking. Thank God.
What was funny about that was that guy with the cigar was resistant at first too. Remember, he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Because I goes, come over, join us. The guy with the cigar was like, no, I'm good over here. But then somehow he got suckered into him.
Well, I think me and you made it very clear that we weren't talking to anybody, and then they kind of just migrated, and they ended up having a nice conversation.
Oh, right.
But then the guy with the cigar was very nice because he heard me talk about cigars, and he said, "Oh, hey, young man, if I had one of these, I'd be giving it to you. I'd be giving it to you." Like I think you either went to the bathroom or something, and
maybe.
Yeah, and he was like, "I would give you one," and that was nice. But I'm glad that they found each other because I'm not good with that,
Yeah, it's I'm friendly, and then it's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah,
it's it's like with the broad, It's just
so
like,
guys, there you go.
About her story, it's like, okay, I heard it. I'm good. Okay, either buy us drinks Or
Yeah. So I was just going to say, so guys, make a note. If you ever see Joe Bartnick and you want him to talk, just buy him a drink. You'd be like, this guy's great. He kept, hey, buddy, keep him coming, too. You stay. I'll tell you all the comedy stories you want to hear.
Yeah. Who doesn't like who? I'll let everybody know.
I don't know if we told the story. We might have, but I'll tell it again. What you did in Sacramento was something that I never seen before.
My God, I have a million Sacramento stories. One time I got naked, and this was before the internet. And they got naked.
The first thing that comes to mind. The first thing that comes to mind. Oh, I got Sacramento. One time I'm buck naked. Go ahead, because that didn't happen on this one.
Yeah, so I was totally. I kind of remember, but running around on the couches, everything, we're all partying.
Yeah.
And then like the next time, like a couple months later, I go up there. And like this before the internet, so someone had Polaroids, and one of the managers at the time goes, you probably want to have these, and it was like me naked running through the club, and I totally.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I totally like got drunk and left them in the green room like I forgot.
I heard a story about you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Where you locked yourself out of your room naked and you walked down holding, like, covering. I mean, if we could cut this out if you don't want to.
No, I don't. My life is a wholly open book. Yeah.
No, you walked out just like covering your dick with one hand, with your hands.
Yes.
And you walked down to the lobby naked holding it.
Yes.
And I heard that you got a new key, but there were people in the lobby and one chick smacked your ass.
Yes. Well, okay, so we get back. It's probably an 8 o'clock show, like 10, we're drinking. It's probably like 1 in the morning, midnight 1. I go with Bill and Nate Craig. And I go, hey, Nate, you want to come in the room and smoke? And he goes, I'm tired. I'm like, okay. I go in, and I had like a big steak, and I was watching the Penguin game on my phone.
Yep.
So I realized I didn't have any utensils, so I'm just eating the steak by hand and watching it on my phone. I literally watched the whole game, and I put my phone on. Next thing I know, I'm naked and I'm outside, and as soon as I turned around, like hermetically, like the hotel, like
clicked.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. So then, what am I gonna do? And they're like, you could have called the phone. So I go. I thought it's like 3 a.m. I didn't know. I thought it was late.
Were you drunk?
Yeah, but even Nate says, and I'm not trying to, Nate goes, I wasn't like running around a hotel lobby naked drunk. Like, I had a buzz.
Oh, we'd hate to see what would happen then.
Yeah. And so I mean, it's Detroit. Oh, there's no rules. So I go downstairs thinking that it was like going to be like one guy, hey, okay, here's a key.
What's 3 a.m.?
Yeah, probably 2. Yeah. I go down there.
I would have loved to see you get off the elevator. To see you get off the elevator. Guys, Joe's like 6'5", a big guy. Just walk off the elevator, one hand covering his dick, and then you just walk up to the lobby. And here's the thing. He's so polite. So you were probably like, how you doing, sir? Listen.
Yeah.
I have an incident here.
Everything just stopped. Like, all the chatter. There's like 20 people in the lobby. Yeah, the room was about as big as a studio. Maybe a little bigger. There was like 20 people. And they go, people are laughing. The guy behind the counter had a heart. He goes, oh! He comes in and he gives me like a Bellman's sport coat to put over. I go,
no.
Yeah. I just need my key.
You probably looked like the monkey with the cymbals.
So he didn't ask for any identification. I just go like, whatever, 317.
I would have paid to see that, dude.
He just said like 317. I go like that, whatever, 317. He goes, okay, well, and then as I was coming around the bend, this chick either said something like nice ass or look at that ass, and she smacked me right in the ass, and I laughed, and I got up. And the funniest thing was not the funniest, but the next morning, Kenny's like, "Why didn't you call me?" It's like I'm gonna wake Kenny up at 3 in the morning. I lost my,
Dude, you wake up, you're like, "Why is there a bellhop jacket on my fucking?"
I literally go, "I don't need this." I go, "I just need my key," because then it was like everything just stopped. People were laughing at me. Oh, it was pretty funny.
Oh my God, Joe! I would have. That was when Burr told me. Burr said you thought you went into the bathroom and you were in the hallway.
So then I'm like, ugh. And so I just hit the button and went down. Burr was shocked because I told him at like 5 in the afternoon. I go, what happened? He goes, what, that just happened to you? And it was just another day in your life? I go, yeah.
It's like that would be the first thing that anybody would say to anybody. Like you'd even call their room or phone. Joe, you'd say it 48 hours later. Oh, by the way, I was naked at the big girl smacked my ass. Oh, that's so funny, dude. That is so funny. But what's the Sacramento one? That's the Sacramento.
No, you said you had a Sacramento story.
The Sacramento.
We talked about me being naked.
The Sacramento story was.
Here's a really funny one. So there's a nude beach in San Francisco, right? And so, as a joke, I got naked at the beach with the captain and my girlfriend, now wife.
But it's a nude beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baker Beach. Just so happens that like everyone we worked with at the Fillmore and the War Film.
All naked?
No, just like in regular. You didn't have to be naked, but you could be. So I'm just kind of being a goof. And it's like, now I got to see these people every day now.
Oh,
the next 5 years.
Oh, that's so great, dude. That is so great. I see, dude. I couldn't. Here's the thing with me. Like, I think I have a nice size dick, but I'm a grower. So like, if I'm cold or go in the water, like, I don't know, dude, if I could just walk around hanging out like that, you know?
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Like, I'd have to like get a little,
yeah,
give it a couple slaps.
Exactly. Your stretch, your pregame skate.
Yeah, I got to do something before I walk. Yeah, I need some confidence before I walk out of there.
Yeah.
No, we were in Sacramento. And we were doing the all-in tour, and it was one of our last West Coast. It was one of our last West Coast shows. So we had already done Portland. We had already done like Seattle. We had already done and our last one. I think we did Sacramento after we did the Punchline in San Francisco. And I'm there, and this is when I was thinking about doing my first album. I ultimately ended up doing it, obviously, at the Stand.
Right.
But I was thinking about it, and I remember saying, this is nice. So I'm talking to the worker there about it. And he goes, oh, this would be a great place. And he got all interested. And he's like showing me and talking to me about the room. And you just go, hey, Virz, is it cool if I get like, I'm just going to get like one crown? And I go, yeah. And dude, they poured you a crown that was like the size of a fucking.
Oh, they know. It's my second home club. The Punchline Sacramento is second to SF. So they know I get my whiskey in pint glasses.
Yeah. So he gets a pint of Crown Royal, and it looked like an iced tea. And I'm still talking to the guy. So 10 minutes go by, and he goes, Virz, I'm just gonna get another one, dude. I'm not exaggerating. This dude might have put down 3 or 4 pints of whiskey. By the way, drinking beers in a green room, pints of whiskey. And then, I don't know if you remember, we had the strongest fucking weed that we got from the West Coast. I think it was when we were in Portland or Seattle.
Seattle is where we got that weed.
And the guy was like, yeah, he sells the weed to Snoop. He goes, this weed, he goes like, Snoop gets this weed, dude. So I remember taking one hit of this thing, and I was, for 45 minutes, I was gone because I'm not a smoker like you. Joe like shared the joint with somebody. And anyway, you hit that and you drank all that and you slept all the way to San Francisco when we went back to your buddies. And then the spiral staircase, you fell down.
Oh, yeah.
And I was behind you. And luckily, dude, but I've never seen anybody put down. And then here's the funniest thing about Joe. Joe will get fucked up like that and just go, oh, I took a nap. I'm fine. It was just a nap. It's like, or you passed out from booze and weed.
Well, I was supposed to be Bill's, I got hammered at an afternoon game in Alabama. There was like a 2-hour drive back to the hotel. So I was riding shotgun. And Bill goes, you can be the wingman. Tell me where
he said, you just took a nap.
Tell me where to go. He pulls up right in the hotel. I go, perfect. Took a little nap because you fucking passed out. Yeah. Felt great. Refreshed for the show.
Yeah, pass out, blackout, nap. As long as you get a little shut-eye.
Oh, yeah, a little relaxation, a little REM.
Yeah, no, dude, that Sacramento thing was, I'm trying to think of the most fun or some of the fun things that we did like on the road, and I think...
Oh, the best was the bus tour with Bill. Every night was the best.
Oh, when we did the bus tour with Bill, one of my favorites was when we went to Little Italy in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for those that know or don't know, in Pittsburgh, it's called the Strip District. There's a bunch of big Italian shops. I always go to the Pennsylvania Macaroni Company. You literally spent $100
$97
in cheeses and spicy gabagool. And when he was carving the sharp provolone, only back east Italian cities have the sharp provolone. It's the best.
Yeah, yeah.
He was carving that cheese. You had a tear running down your eye like Sophie was getting married. It was the best.
And you knew that I didn't like anytime I'm on the road, and people know this, years back when I opened for Bill, when we did that, or even now, I'm not an early morning guy. I'm about a 10:30, 11 a.m. guy. And Bartnick
on a good day.
On a good day, 10:30, 11. Bartnick goes, Virzi, I know it's early, but if you just come for a walk with me to the Little Italy place and thing, and we're walking through the streets, they got Frank Sinatra is playing through the streets while you're walking in this market. We go in, they got this giant wheel of cheese that they're just shaving off. I bought $30 worth of prosciutto. I bought
spicy gabagool.
We got garlic filled olives that we put in that Burr loved. We got, the bread was so soft we were touching it, looking at each other, nodding our head like that's the one. We got all this shit. We bring it back to the bus. We're driving like middle of the night. We end up going to like, I don't know, whatever city, like Alabama. I mean, we were going somewhere, and we're watching Goodfellas with plates. We were watching Goodfellas with plates of like this antipasta. It was.
Oh, you set up like my mother or my grandmother would do.
I made sure.
You made a beautiful plate.
I made plates for everybody.
Oh, Burr went nuts too. Burr was like, he goes, I never knew you could do this to an olive. I go, Bill, when Italians see an olive, they see an opportunity.
Yes, they see it because there's a hole in there, and you could put anything in there. You could put cheese in there, garlic in there.
We had a couple different types of olives.
Yeah, there was one that had like a spicy like cream cheese, and then there was another one that had like just a chunk of garlic.
Yes.
We had the spicy gabagool, we had salami, we had prosciutto, we had sharp provolone, we had peppers, we had, I mean, it was
everything.
Yeah, it was like, those are like, that's what I remember about, like, I remember those things of like then one night we went into an empty bar and we started talking wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like, yeah. I mean, honestly, Verse, when don't we have fun?
Well, don't tell
me and you're in cigar shop. You know, any place we go, we have a great time.
Well, you know, I was talking to my wife, and my wife is like, "You go on those tours with your friends, and that's shenanigans." I go, babe, we are working at night. We're getting in front of, you know, hundreds and thousands of people. So yeah, but I go, hey, we like to blow off some steam.
It's after dinner. We're having a meeting. We used to do that. We used to call it an executive meeting. We go to this one strip club every Tuesday night.
Oh, that's great.
Executive meeting. The best was, I'm not sure, so funny. Verz's wife calls, I love Stace. Stace is the best. Verz goes, you believe this, Stace? My bookie back home is going to 7. He goes, everyone else gets it at 6.5. I'm thinking like, your wife, only Verz can yell at his wife. He gets the wrong line, and that's a big problem of the day.
Yeah, we were at the Chargers game. So this is what happened. I took the Chargers, but every other line was 6.5, and the BetMGM line is 6.5, which I use, which is a sponsor, by the way, our sponsor. Shout out to them. We'll talk about that in a second. But BetMGM line was 6.5. California does not have legalized gambling. So I got to call somebody back home. Their account was like, whatever it was, DraftKings or whatever. And he goes, Paul, he goes, I could give it to you at 7. So then I have a dilemma, and I'm like, I tell Joe, I go, fuck, I took him at 7. See what happens, right? Chargers are winning the whole game. All of a sudden, the backdoor push,
cover.
it was a backdoor push. Ends up being, Chargers end up winning by 7. So I'm outside. I would have won a few $100. So I get on the phone with my wife. She goes, how was your day? And all of a sudden, I'm talking to her about it. And I see Joe falling down, crying, laughing. And I don't know why. And he goes, dude, you could play to her. Because I said, hey, babe, everything's good. I go, listen, I put hundreds on 6. I wanted 6.5, but I got 7. It didn't work. She goes, oh, man. Joe's crying, laughing. He goes, you're talking to your wife about what bookie? What you're trying to get from the bookie? And I'm like, yeah, dude, it cost me hundreds.
I know. I got like, hi, Stace, how's everything?
I put her on the phone.
Yeah, because my wife'd be like, what are you calling me for? It's so funny because you did the same thing I would do when you couldn't get your tickets in the morning till you called her. My wife would freak out.
Yeah.
Like, what are you calling me for? I got 2 kids doing this, doing that, running around. You're calling me for that. Figure it out yourself. My wife would just hang out. As I said, Verse, relax. We'll use the Wi-Fi here.
Yep.
We did it. No big deal.
I get a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I do go to the wife. Listen, when there's technical problems, when there's email problems, when there's transferring anything, I go to the wife.
My wife, yes. I used to do that constantly. And my wife would be, watch a YouTube video. You learn how to do it yourself. During the pandemic, I learned how to edit videos myself. I learned so much stuff myself that now, every now and then, let's go, Buns, 1 second. I have one quick question. And there's like no more arguments. I'll never forget the time because I used to always have my buddy Lundy do my fantasy football.
Yeah.
And he was unavailable. I called my wife to do it from the road. She's like, I'm doing your fantasy football now. I'm telling everybody out there in podcast land, Don't call your wife and have her do your fantasy football.
Babe, I said Najee Harris is in the flex. Najee Harris is the flex, not the starter.
No, don't leave. Do it now. If you don't get home by 10, it won't work.
Yeah. Your wife is doing your fantasy.
Yeah.
You know what it is, man? When you have, at the end of the day, man, and I say this proudly, my wife is the best. She takes care of shit. My wife is the Don. She's just like, she just is, you know my wife. My wife, it's with the organization and shit like that. And I do think a man needs that because I can't do, could you do everything? Would you be able to do everything? I mean, you learn it like you said, but I mean, they just take care of shit.
Oh, I mean, I need my wife every day just to find all my shit. She goes, I spend half my day looking for your shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you know me. I lose my phone. I lose my wallet. I lose my keys. That fob thing, it's like, I got here. I know the keys are somewhere.
Oh, my God.
My glasses. The worst is when my wife, when I can't find my glasses and they're in my glasses case.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
no, Joe, listen, I love you to death, but you lose shit. You've lost phones. I remember I dropped you off somewhere off a highway. You're like, dude, I lost the phone. We were in Pittsburgh. We were at an after party in Pittsburgh at a buddy's house, and you lose your wallet. And we backtracked, dude. I go, Joe, let's go back to Dave & Buster's because Dave & Buster's was next to the Improv. We're walking around looking at machines, and it ended, and months go by. Right? Months go by.
I had to talk my way onto an airplane.
Yeah, you lost your passport.
I lost my wallet.
You lost all the shit.
I talked my way onto an airplane. I finally figured out my wife could just take a picture of my passport and have it on my phone.
You can do that?
Well, at least I can talk. It's easier than going, it's me. The TSA. Hey, you didn't see me at the Improv all weekend? You know, hey, I'm on DVE. The funniest thing is my wife, it was under, I'll give Randy a shout out. Randy DV, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
My wallet was under the bar. It's like my wife's like, Joe, where's the first place you would look for anything of Joe Bartnick's? It's under the bar. Like, that's where I'm at all night. Like, you know.
Yeah. Where was Joe last seen? Where was Joe last seen conscious?
Yeah.
Wherever Joe was last seen conscious, I pretty much could tell you that's probably where whatever lost item is.
Oh, I've been at Randy's one time when it's like, I thought I left. I woke up on his floor with my backpack on.
I love when you hang out at a party. When Bartnick hangs out at a party, he'll hang, but when he sleeps, he's still sitting there holding the beer, just out cold. But holding it like he's sitting there. You almost look like a mannequin, and the beer is still there. And then you pop up an hour later, and you go right back there.
Oh yeah,
you just like a little nap.
Speaking of good times, and thank God I left, was Giannis's wedding, dude. If I was there with you, the Long Island National Guard would have been there. Yeah. And we'd have ruined the whole thing.
I will be honest with you. That was one time where I was like, wow, as much as I wanted to hang with you, when you excused yourself from a wedding because you knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that was because you were like one or two away from like, you know, that naked without a fucking cape.
Naked but not afraid. What's funny was I had left earlier, and then Dante Nero was like, where are you going? There's still like hours left. I go, yeah, you're right. Next thing I knew, I woke up in the hotel and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And I was like, oh, everything was good. I'm like,
I mean, didn't you spill something on the bride?
No. I my tuxedo rental shoes exploded though. And I walked around in my socks. I had my shoes in my back pockets. That's what everyone remembers.
Only Joe Bartnick could pull a Zion Williamson at a fucking wedding.
Well, I was Mrs. Virzi's date. Like I was like dating. I was like bringing Mrs. Marsalis. You know.
I just picture you bringing the tuxedo back. The guy goes, "What happened? Was there a fucking shootout? What the fuck?"
They gave me like 75% off. Well, what really happened was I came in like a conquering hero because there was Stacy, Mrs. Virzi, wanted to get a card. Wanted to get a card. So I go, well, we'll stop at Rite Aid and get a. She goes, let's stop at Rite Aid. I get there, I'm like, there's 2 hours between the reception or between now and the reception. I go, well, we need some beers. So remember, I showed up with like a 30-pack. I was like William the Conqueror. I was like, Bartnick's the greatest.
Oh yeah, but dude, I remember Stacy. It's like she goes, I think Joe B and Joe G had like 9 beers each before the wedding. You walked in there. Dude, you walked in there and you were good. I knew you were hot early, but then like halfway through, you guys walked out, and I was like, that was a professional move. I got to give you credit for that.
I've never been thrown out of a place. I've been asked to leave several places, but I have never been physically thrown out. I'm a gentleman. It's time to go.
It's hard to say. Listen, I might have been naked in that hotel. But I'm a gentleman. Okay, I came down. I covered my junk.
I did. I was like, woo, it's a party.
No, that would have been.
No, that would have been.
Well, that would have. You could actually get arrested for indecent exposure too. Like the fact that you went down, kind of like holding, saying, "Excuse me, can I get a?"
Yeah.
You didn't run like streak through there.
No.
I mean, that would have been a story.
I would have hit some wall. How many glass doors and windows have I walked into?
Hey, Joe, how many La Quintas have you fucking fell asleep naked in the lobby at?
Oh, I remember sleeping in Montana on the lawn chair outside. We had a room for like the next day, and we got there early. Like, oh, what are you going to do? Nice sleep in the car. I remember waking up with like all of these families out at the pool and me just sitting there like, I can sleep. One thing as a comic or entertainer, I think in general, you have to be able to sleep anywhere because you never know where it's going to happen. Like, I can sleep anywhere.
One thing that I learned is I learned how to sleep on an airplane comfortably.
Well, because you get first class, you get a full bed.
Well, you know what?
Anyone can sleep in JetBlue Mint. I've learned to sleep in fucking jet.
I've learned to sleep when they give me earplugs and fucking eye covers, and they give me a bed with a comforter. Yeah. I'll tell you what, like a baby. Yeah. No, but I was actually.
I would actually catch like 20 minutes of sleep when I fly cross country in Mint.
No, but I even if I'm in like Comfort Plus or if I'm like in the middle of the plane, I kind of learned to maneuver where I can actually sleep, it's tough on an airplane sometimes, especially with a bad back.
No, 100%.
It's like, but yeah. Now I go. Now I like to go. I like to.
You got first class on the train that went 2 hours. In Florida.
Oh yeah,
you took a first class train right from Fort Lauderdale to Miami or something crazy. Right?
I took a first class cabin train that had a bed from Orlando to West Palm Beach. And it was incredible. I had a bed. Then you go into a dining room. There was like, I was watching TV. I was sleeping.
Yeah, I can't even do that in one day. Like, that seems so much to do. Like, by the time you get in bed, it's like.
Yeah, you go, Paul, when you like documented it looked like you were going to Nebraska.
Yeah. Yeah, like, oh, where's Virzi going? He's going to Chicago? No, he's going like 20. It's like.
Hey, I like
the toll's like $3. It's like what? It's like 3 exits.
I was drinking a glass of wine in the fucking in the cart in the dining cart.
The montage looked like you spent like 5 days, like you were on North by Northwest. It's like you went like.
Oh, dude, I was asking like what Pinot Noir they had. Like, I'm on an Amtrak going fucking 2 hours. I'm like drinking Pinot Noir. I had a hot meal and thing. This is incredible. I took a half-hour nap. Oh my god.
Joe G. That's like Joe G. does Ironmans farther than that.
You know who loved trains was Gleason. Gleason would actually fill up all the people. He said he would get women. He would get everybody. He would pack the car. He would pack the thing. The whole the dining cart would be a party. They'd be smoking and drinking and have a whole party and do that. And then
Jackie Gleason was so great. He's like, I'm not leaving Miami. So he thought they'd get rid of him. CBS built a whole theater down there.
The Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, the Jackie.
I actually performed at it.
Yeah, because
he
was like, I'm not going back to New York. The great one.
True story is there was a Cluster Fest or like a Comedy Central festival in Miami. And Bill was like, do you want to do it at the Jackie Gleason Theater? And you know who opened the show, rest his soul, but Brody Stevens.
No way.
So Brody went on first, and then I went on, and then Bill went on. And I remember Miami being like one of those markets where even for that show, people would like walk in late because they were at the beach. Like it was just like, they didn't care. But the Jackie Gleason Theater, because he wanted to stay down there. That's great. He told his doctor, because his doctor was like, dude, you can't drink 13 scotches a day and have 2 steaks a day and all that. And smoke. And he just goes, Doc, I'm doing it like this until I go. And he lived to 70-something, but 71.
Everyone was built different that way. My grandfather smoked 2 packs of regular Campbells every day at least. They told him to quit. He never did. Drank. Yes. Just like, that's it. Go. Just live your life. You get hit by a bus tomorrow. You say, oh my God, thank God he gave up red meat. It's just so stupid. I quit smoking cigarettes because I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs.
See, this is my...
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a good life at the age of 28. That's why I wanted to be healthier.
But I got to be honest, as much as I love you, there's only one problem with hanging with you is I just know it's going to be a really, really great night and a rough morning. If I see you, it's just we can't not
have a good time.
We can't not have a good time. We have a good time. It ends up in one bar. Then you go to and never sloppy, nothing not like gentlemen, but it's all night and it's a good time.
Both of us never stop.
That's the thing.
We're always, hey, for one more. What's one more? I think one of the funnest nights
Why it's dangerous.
Ever. It was, we were debating, this is 15 years ago, who's better, Pacino or De Niro?
Yeah.
And it went till like 5 in the morning. Like then Stacy's like, you got to be up in like 3 hours. We're like, oh, okay. And we woke up at 8 with like 4 more each. Remember? We're thinking about it.
Yeah. Oh my God. We were up all night.
Yeah, up all. We just up.
We were going. Yeah. Because I'm not. I'm not an alcoholic, and I know that.
No.
But I also know that during a good time, if I don't have anything the next day and I'm with a good buddy, I'm just not one to say no if they're like, you want another one? And I'd be like, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. But I am at a point now in my life where when it's enough, it's enough. Like where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, it's like you said at the wedding. You know, when you drink at the wedding, it's like you can't be there anymore.
No. My thing is though, like as far as being like, I can go to bed at 8 o'clock and like sleep to the whole, or once I get past like 8:39, I'm up till like 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just don't get tired anymore.
I have a feling people are going to listen to this podcast. I want to go out and have a pop.
I want to pop right now. We got a whole.
So I want to just real quick before we get out of here, I want to talk about everywhere the people can get your clips, all of your socials, all of that, and what you got coming up. Because I want everybody to see this special. Honestly, man, it's on
YouTube. It's on All Things Comedy's YouTube page. If you go to my website, joebartnick.com, the link is right there. On Instagram, I'm Mr. Joe Bartnick. Everywhere else, I'm just Joe Bartnick. And I'm going to have my new YouTube page up with all the clips. But All Things Comedy also has all the clips, and all the clips are everywhere. The clips have been kicking ass.
Yeah, go to his new YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button.
Well, when it comes out, I mean, it's not done yet.
Right. No. I'm saying when it is.
Because now there's the old ones that like me and a heavy fat Bartnick. There's some clips like that.
You guys want to see Fat Bartnick?
Yeah.
Is there a way, Aaron? Is there a way that we could put up a picture on this or no? Joe's first album, Salute, is that available for people to see?
Yeah, but Salute is me just holding a drink.
Yeah, no, but I wanted them to see the picture.
Oh,
the picture in front of the Cadillac.
Oh, that's on the back of the page. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to see this picture. It's Bartnick standing in a black robe with holding a drink. Do you have a cigar too?
Yeah.
A cigar in front of a white Cadillac, and it's the most.
It was my silver with a splash of purple.
Oh wow!
In the right light. I love that car. It just broke down like 7 times.
Yeah.
In a row.
Yeah.
I got a new tranny fit in, and they ruined that one too, and it was just the time to go.
You held out. Joe, you held out. There was nothing else you could do.
I held on that thing like grim death.
Yeah, there was nothing else you could do. Guys, also want to thank the sponsor. As you guys know, me and Bill Burr do a podcast called Anything Better, which is on the All Things Comedy Network, and our sponsor is BetMGM. We're picking the football games, so make sure you check that out. And for our listeners, if you use code BURR200, all you got to do is put a minimum of $10 in the account. You'll get up to $200 in bets, regardless of the outcome of the wager. So all you got to do is download the app, okay, put in BURR200, which is the code for our Anything Better podcast. We pick the games. There's also a survivor pool, which you could get in and just pick a team to win. And as long as that team keeps winning every week, you stay alive and you'll get prizes with that. So check that out as well. Also, I do a Bone to Pick podcast with Bobby Kelly. Of course, here, the Virzi Effect, all of the full episodes are on my website, paulvirzi.com. All the dates I mentioned, October 6th and 7th, San Diego, 4 shows. October 13th, Hartford, Connecticut. October 20th and 21st, Philadelphia Helium. November 2nd, Albany. And, of course, Gramercy Theater in New York City.
Congratulations on that.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
So great.
You know what?
I walked by it, and I'm like, Virzi's going to be there.
Dude, here's the thing, man. I've never wanted to work or do anything on. I never wanted to work or do anything on New Year's Eve, but be home with my family. I used to do. Oh, they pay better. I was like running home from gigs to get home for the ball to drop at midnight. I remember doing something. I did the egg in Albany. You're just running home to get home. Everyone's tired. I decided this year, you know what? Let's do a show in New York City, bring the family down, have a little after party, bring in the new year great, do the show. People are buying tickets. I cannot wait. And it'll be my first time in my backyard, New York City on New Year's Eve. It's going to be such a fun show, bring in the new hour. So, that's awesome. They had it up? They had it outside there?
No, I was thinking that, though. No, they had whoever.
Oh, yeah. Because I was going to say.
I just walked by Virzi will be there for New Year's. Look good.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. So check all that stuff out. Like I said, paulvirzi.com. More shows will be added, and it looks like, everybody, big announcement, but it looks like, hint, February 24th, the Den Theater in Chicago is happening. We're going to make the official announcement next week. Thank you guys so much for listening. Check out Joe Bartnick, A Killing in Chicago, All Things Comedy YouTube. It's hilarious. He's hilarious. I will say this, Joe Bartnick, out of all the people I met in this business, truly a true character, a one-of-a-kind, an original, and his jokes speak for themselves, so make sure you check that out. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thanks, Paulie. You're the best.
All right, guys. See you guys next week. Thank you.